Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Hoop Love Y'all Show. I am your host, Shay Rippinger. The Hoop Love Y'all Show is where I share health, humor, and hooping hacks and hints and tricks that you can use right now and try and share with a friend or two or three or four. So we're going to get started. Tonight's theme is pretty hands. So, and this is part of the hoop hack series. So, what are pretty hands, you might ask? I'm going to give you a little tease of how that relates to hooping. And that is, we're going to, a lot of people when they're hooping, for instance, they're going to be hooping and doing what we call T-Rexing. No fun. So this isn't very pretty to look at unless you're doing a Michael Jackson video, and that's been done once as a hooping video. But I'm going to give you a trick to keep your hands very pretty. That's nice and easy. So stay tuned for that at the end. Okay, now moving along with the hooping hacks. We're just going to keep this down for right now. And so our first tip of the evening of the show is keeping the hands healthy. So a couple quick tips with this. So one thing is to warm up your hands. So we don't think of this a lot sometimes. When I say we in general, I'm kind of being very general and vague on that one. But when you are hooping, sometimes we just jump right in without warming up properly. And when you're using the hoop, you're actually using hand motion. So I'm going to be extra animated with my hands for this show, just so you know. So if you see my hands just waving all about, if you're watching this on with just the captions on, that should be very entertaining. So, but we're going to warm up our hands because that's going to be really helpful for the hoop movements and especially for off-body movements. So when you're bringing the hoop on and off, you're really using a lot of the hands. And the hands and the feet have the most bones in them, the most muscles, the most ligaments. So there's a lot going on in your hands. If you've ever injured something and had to have something repaired, like surgically or something like that, you know what I'm talking about because there is a lot there. So also, if you're watching live, you can type into the comments. I'm doing a little bit of a different broadcast tonight because I'm broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube again, but YouTube changed up the parameters, so I need to have more subscribers than I actually have at this moment to broadcast live in the way that I wanted to do it before. So last week's show, episode number 62 will be up on YouTube shortly when I upload that, but I have to upload it manually. So tonight is episode 63. Woo! Yes, getting those hands in there. Okay, so back to the topic here. I'm diverting back into our topic. So you want to be warming up the hands. So I'm going to give you a couple of hand exercises that are very helpful that I do. And one that I remembered for the show that I used to do, and I haven't been doing it lately. And I've also had some wrist issues going on. So, the hands are attached to the wrist. And when you're doing different things, this can be an issue. So of hurting these things, these delicate little tendons, muscles, bones, all that kind of stuff. And even, you don't have to break them, but you can strain them, or you can get hairline fractures or pull them, tear, all that kind of stuff. We don't want to do that. We want to try and avoid that. So for getting some happy hands, try this one with me. This is called prayer hands, or you can call it whatever you want, but it's kind of in a prayer position. What you're going to do is you're going to take your fingertips, all 5 fingertips together, like so, and you're going to bring it in front of your body. You can bring this wide, and I want you to experiment with how you do this. So I want you to bring it in, and you want to try and touch the palms in and see how far down you can go. And it's not a contest, but you want to bring the hands down a little bit more. I realize one of my cameras is a touch low. I'm broadcasting from a 2-camera setup. So we're going to bring this in, and you're going to try and touch those palms together. Now, maybe your extension is right here. Maybe it's down where you're actually inverted. Go to whatever is comfortable for you. Don't try and outdo if you feel any pain, definitely back off. So you want to just go to where it's comfortable for you, but you're getting a little bit of a stretch. So for me right here, right now, this is good. So you're going to take it in and then release that out. And then you can also shake that out too. So that's one of the things you do in between the hand exercises. So that prayer position. There's also, you can reverse that and take the hands back to back and reverse that position as well. And you can bring the hands into the chest and get a nice gentle stretch. And again, you can press down on this where the hands are going to go, and you want to try and keep the wrists together on this one. If you can, try and keep the thumbs together. That's more challenging for me. So anyway, you can definitely try and keep the fingers even and symmetrical on that. And again, do the best you can. We're all built a little bit differently. So whatever works for you, adapt what you need. If you have any questions or comments, please type them in, and I'll try and answer them as best as I can on air. Okay, so moving along, and everybody, thanks for watching too, whether you're watching live or on the replay broadcast. I really greatly appreciate it. And sharing is caring, so hitting the thumbs up and the subscribe and all that kind of good stuff. Alrighty, so those are two of this. So prayer, reverse prayer. And then this is one of my favorites that I needed to remember to do. And this is what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bending the hand back, and then we're going to take the other hand. And what most people do when they do this is they just grab the fingers. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be grabbing all of the fingers, including the thumb. And you want to just gently go at this and then stretch back nice and gently. So then we're going to release that out. Now, also another thing, whatever you do on one hand, you want to do on the other hand. So we're going to bend the wrist back on the left hand, pull the fingers, not just the 4 fingers down here, but grab the thumb. And if you have 6 fingers, grab however many you have, or less than that, whatever works for you. All right, so we're going to grab and just gently pull back. Gently, gently, gently. Again, if you feel like pain or what have you, then ease back on that, and then just gently release that out, and you can shake that out too. So a couple of things to remember on stretches that are really helpful, and again, keeping in with the pretty hands theme, is that, and this goes for all stretches, not just the hands, that you can do something that is really helpful where you don't just stretch, but you add an extra dimension to that movement. And this is a really great trick that I got from Erin Stebbins, that it's not a trick, it's a really helpful movement quality that will redo how you go about your stretches. So what you're going to be doing is you're flexing, you're resting, and then you're pressing on the other direction. So what I mean by that is, so let's say if we just did this one right here. Now on that first one, we're pulling and pressing this hand back, pulling back with this hand, and we're stretching back. So I'm stretching my downward fingertips towards my body. Now, if I really, and then I release and give that a little bit of breather room. Now, if I take this again, it's going to look the same, but it's going to be a completely different movement. Now, when I go to put my other hand on, now my base hand that I was stretching before is going to press out. So again, this is going to look exactly the same, but this hand that I have extended out is going to press. The fingertips are going to press instead of pulling with the opposite hand. So, and then again, rest that out. So you want to have equal turns of rest. And so the stretch and then the strengthen. So that's a very important thing. And it's going to really revolutionize your stretches if you try that. So give that a try. So, and so I have 3 things for the hands that are health tips. I'm going a little extra. I normally try to keep it to 1 tip so that I can make everything go along quicker and keep everything on time. But I'm going to throw 1 more in there. So we had the prayer hands, original position, reverse position. Then we had the hands stretch in and then the press out. And then we also have what I like to do after you've done your stretches, after you've done your movement, or you could do it in the morning, in the evening. It's a great way to wake up or go, right before you go to bed. And that is to do hand massage. So you're just massaging one hand with the other, go up the fingertips. I actually, like when I go to get a massage, they go up the fingertips, and that kind of bothers me personally because all the blood goes to the tip of the finger and it feels uncomfortable for me. So I like to work the toxins back down so that they go in the bloodstream and move around that way. So you can do both directions if you like. Just make sure you're not squeezing and then like pressing all the blood into the extremities. But do go down each finger. And I'm doing a very quick version of this But the thumb, now the thumb, this is a meaty muscle right here. I want you to really take and get your other thumb in there and really work that in, and front and back the hands too. So now here's a really cool thing. So not with only with my hand massage, but there's an acupressure point right here. I love to use this one on my husband, and you're pushing and pressing as hard as you can on the front and the back. And that acupressure point is really helpful for pain management, but also especially for headaches and migraines. So when he's having, if he's ever having any issues, I get a hold of him and do this. Plus, he's a guitarist, so just massaging the hands. We've learned that the art of hand massage is really wonderful. And if you don't have somebody else to get around to give you one, do this for yourself. Get the wrist in there too. So and get the hand rotation in there, and then whatever you do on one side, say it with me, do it on the other side. So we're going to go up the hand, up the fingertips. You can go down, up, down, 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 down. And you want to do this for, however long you have. But even if you did it for a minute on each hand, that increases your blood flow, increases your dexterity. It increases brain level activity, all kinds of stuff. So you want to get right in there with those muscles, getting the front and the backs of the hands, and getting the wrist. Get that meaty muscle by the thumb. And then you can also shake the hands out. I also love this one right here. I got this from a yoga show. I can't remember what it was. But it's a really good hand exercise when you're just releasing, like you're dropping ball or a hot potato or something like that. But you're just flicking the hands out. So that's a great one to do too. All right. So giving you lots of hand stuff on that one. All right. Now, for a little, because health, humor, and hooping, we're getting to the hooping. Stay tuned. It's coming right up. We're going to do a little humor bit here. And when I say bit, like I'm a comedian. I wish I could say that. I have friends that are stand-up comedians who are brilliant at it. I have done print humor and cartoons and cartooning for a long time. But anyway, my humor is just kind of in the, telling stories and the jokes along the way that are naturally occur. So what we're going to do is a laughter yoga exercise, because that's how I roll, and that's one of the things I do here. And what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate our free hands, right? So we're going to take, for the first one, so we're going to take a nice deep breath in, and then you're going to exhale it out. But we're going to move the hands the entire time. So you're going to have you're going to have a smile on your face, or try the best you can. And if you can, add in that laughter, and it's a fake it till you make it laugh too. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in, and we're going to jazz hands it up. So we're just going to jazz hands and just have some fun at the jazz hands. We're going to try this 3 times. So ready? Take a nice deep breath in, and then exhale it out. Laugh it out with those jazz hands. Inhale it in, and then exhale it out. And really work those hands. One more time with me. Inhale it in and exhale it out. Okay, now shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. And then at the end of laughter yoga exercises, getting in some more hand activity. We're going to take our hands together. We do this twice. Do this with me, please. And we're going to say very good, yay twice. So very good, yay. We're going to clap with that. Very good, yay. All right. Thank you so much for doing that with me. And if you want to continue doing that, you can do that morning, noon, night. It's also a great way to get some extra energy. You can take those nice deep breaths in and a nice big exhale out as you do your ha, 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 ha. So anyway, consider adding that to your day to just improve, get the healthy endorphins in, and just have a great time. So, all right, moving right along. Now, I did promise you a really cool, and I call this, it's a pretty hands hoop hack. So what I mean by that is a lot of times hoopers have this position. I'm going to go close up on this. All right. So they have this position here, or something to this effect. And it's when you're mentally very much into your hooping and not into your appendages. So you're not finishing off your lines very nicely. So what's happening is you may be getting the move great. So you may be hooping on the body great, but your hands are looking like this. I shall demonstrate what that looks like. And again, in the hooping community, we call this T-Rexing. So it usually goes with a flexed foot as well. So if you're moving around, you get a flexed foot going. And then also, you know, I joke around when I teach, and I say that you get that with the sound effects too. So you're like, ah. Sometimes you get it with flow face as well. So we've covered, or have we covered? It's going to be in the hooping hacks as well about your face, what's going on when you're hoop. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a quick little hack. So instead of doing this, I'm going to give you what I call cheating belly dance hands. I've created this myself. It has an easier way to do a prettier version of a hand. What it looks like is that. So, and it's easy to remember and do. So that's why I'm giving it to you as something to try. So what we're going to do, I'm going to walk you through it. So what you're going to do is flip the hands up. So palms up. Now, as if you're meditating, you're going to take your fingers together and your thumb and your forefinger. So you're going to use the forefinger to point for good. So you're going to take this. Now you're going to take the thumb, slide it up on the forefingers, right? So it's almost like you're flipping the bird, but you're not quite flipping the bird. Now, this doesn't look like much yet, right? But now we're going to take the hands and flip them over. And we have what I call cheating belly dance hands. Now, keep the thumb glued to that middle finger and extend your digits, your fingers. So try not to keep that into, you know, we don't want to little goat horn out this one, but we want to extend the lines nice and gradually. But also why I like this cheating belly dance hand. So to review, thumb to middle finger, slide it up, flip it over, and go. Okay, so now why I like this is because while you're doing other things, it takes away the brain cells that you need to try and adjust the hands. So you're going to take the fingers together, flip them, and go. There we go. Whee! Also try to lower your shoulders and do that. So I'm trying to hoop with a bigger hoop in a smaller space. I'm going to go with a smaller hoop in a small space. Let's try that one more time with the pretty hands, what I call the cheating belly dance hands. Okay, so you can hoop in your current, again, try hooping in both directions. That was one of our hooping hacks for this series as well. So go back to the previous episodes and check those out because those are important as well. And they'll give you some really cool, neat, easy ideas of how to improve your hooping, overall. Try and say that 10 times fast. All right, so we're going to start, and I'm just doing waist hooping for right now. You can do this any way you want. So getting that in. So let's say you're doing an off-body move. This is still applicable, okay? So, okay, now I'm going to try a smaller hoop. All right, so I'm going to start the hoop on the hand. So here's how it's applicable here. Okay, so cheating belly dance hands, putting the fingers together, sliding, flipping them over. Now you have this little flip going like so, all right? So now you can take these hands and they can go all over the place. And then you can continue going over. And it's a much prettier thing to do than T-Rexing. So that is your hooping hack for today, along with all the pretty hands and all of that kind of good stuff. So, and I am on time and on time budget. Yay! All right. So again, I am your host, Shay Rippinger. If you ever need a hoop consultation or you want online lessons, call me, connect with me, and we'll go from there. So I've got some great online classes that are available and all kinds of neat things available. So, and I can definitely connect with you and give you some tips and tricks that will help you in what your hooping goals are. All right, so yes, and if you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up on the video, share. If you have a hooping friend that you think might benefit, and you don't want to call them out and go, hey, you do T-Rexing, because we all do T-Rexing at some point, and it could be like you're a little rusty and you forget, or you're doing some more advanced move, you're not thinking about the hands, and so you've got this going. So we want to try and avoid that and get those pretty cheating belly dance hands. Ooh. It's so much fun. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I am Shay Rippinger, your host, professional hooper, humorist, relationship kind of person, and healthy education advocate. So an educator. All right. So thanks so much for watching. Bah. Oh, the hilarity. All right. So rock on. Peace out. Thank you so much. Bye.